Are you sure you want to give me this mayonnaise?
It's all yours.
But these old phone books?
All yours, old friend. Patrick, there is one more thing I want you to have.
So a while ago, I made a video on the manual transmission where I basically said that the gun was some hot ass. And a lot of people in the video told me, Epic, you're wrong. Epic, you're not building for it properly. Epic, Jolt said it could work, which, by the way, is not true. Jolt said this.
And I'm going to say it again, this gun is really, really difficult to use. Also, the base damage on it is very, very low, so you're not really going to get much out of it unless you have crazy fire rate going.
But since that video, I figured, you know, why not give it a go at some point in the future? And recently, they actually buffed the manual transmission, so I thought now would be the perfect time to make an updated video on what I think is the worst assault rifle in Wonderlands. I believe it was on the 28th of April, Gearbox made a hotfix to Wonderlands, and in this hotfix, they buffed a bunch of assault rifles, but the main one they buffed was the manual transmission by speeding up its mode swap speed by 20%, increasing the damage scaling on it by 15%, and the big one, the kicker here, increasing the minimum fire rate by 30%, which means that basically the gun starts shooting faster from the get-go without having to switch gears. For those of you who aren't aware of how the manual transition works, every time you see the ammo count get red, you have to hit the switch mode in order to, I guess, shift the gear on the weapon, which then boosts its fire rate, in turn upping the damage it deals. The problem with this gun, and the problem which I detailed in my first video, is that the manual transmission is so incredibly arse because it's such a gimmicky weapon. Now, you get this thing from Volcanar in Mount Craw if you are curious, and if you do want to go and pick one up. The one that I'm actually using was gifted to me by a viewer. It was definitely farm legit and was 1000% not bought on eBay.
Stop the cap!
But just taking a look at the damage this does here with a Buffmeister equipped, and you can see that it's really nothing special at all. In fact, I mean, it's just nothing cool at all. Now, granted, am I playing a Clawbringer? Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie, that caught me off guard there a little bit. But the manual transmission, I still believe, is kind of suffering after the last hotfix. Now, the problem with the manual transmission is that this isn't a gun which you simply fix with a hotfix to up its damage. The manual transmission is a gun which just fundamentally is not very good. Having to look down at your ammo count and switch gears, and having it be mandatory, like you literally have to switch gears, otherwise you break the gun, as you can see right there, is just not a good gimmick. And in fact, it leaves the gun feeling lackluster, gimmicky, extremely gimmicky at that. And also, look, if you mess up the mechanic, now you have to reload it properly again, you go back to the low fire rate, and you just kind of end up dying with it. Now, I don't think the manual transmission is a bad idea for a gun. I just think it's done really poorly, and I actually don't think they're ever going to change it either. Like, you can see I'm killing enemies with the thing, but this is a primordial version. This is currently the best version you can get in the game, and it's in fire, and I mean, that's the damage it's dealing. I think taking a look at the gun and, like, thinking what they were going for with it when they were making it, it makes me think they were trying to make some kind of cool interaction with switching gears, boosting your fire rate even more, and the typical wacky Borderlands gun formula. But I feel like this is just another gun in Wonderlands which ended up being a gimmick that just really isn't worth running for pretty much anyone's endgame builds, because it just isn't fun to use. Like, having to constantly look down at my ammo count is more of a chore than anything, and not a fun chore, if there even are fun chores out there. So ending off this video in the same place the first one ended out, my conclusion with the manual transmission is that once again, this is the worst assault rifle in Wonderlands. If anybody can prove me wrong, please do. I would absolutely love to be proven wrong. If any of you can take this gun and turn it into an absolute killer and have it not be such a gimmicky weapon, then again, I would love to see you do it, because truly, I don't think it's possible. I think this is just one of those guns which is eternally not going to be fun to use. So if you can do anything with it, let me know. I'd be loving to check something like that out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. That's going to do it for this one. I'll check you all in the next one. Take it easy and have a nice day. See you later, boys.